Chapter 4. Joe stared wildly at me when Mom and I came back to my seat to the DR. You didn't find them, she said. Where's Pink Rabbit? It's all right, I told her, sitting back down in my chair. I did find them, but he's busy. Busy? Said Joe. What do you mean? It's a surprise, I said. You will find that really soon. Joe looked confused, but she didn't ask any more questions. Okay, she said suspiciously. We chatted quietly for a while longer, but then the light into the DR went down, and a great hush fell over the audience. The orchestra started to play. The great velvet curtain began to rise. Joe and I breathed out into the wonderment. The string didn't look like a string, but a beautiful garden. It is in the middle of the tree with a frosty pink cherry blossom all over it. The ballet dancer playing in the part of the Alice was sitting on the branch. She was wearing a white tutu and a black headband in her pale blonde hair. Everything shone and sparkled. Into the cherry blossom petals raced down from the tree, the music suddenly got faster, and the white rabbit leaped from the straight left. Except it wasn't a white rabbit. It was a little pink rabbit, my pink rabbit. He looked very small up there on the string, and I suddenly felt very nervous for him. But I also felt extremely proud. Pink Rabbit tiptoed across the street in his striped waistcoat. He was holding a pocket watch in his pouch and looking at it as he leaped along. I'm late! I'm late! I'm late! The music seemed to say. Pink Rabbit bounced and bounced past the cherry blossom tree, and the dancers playing Alice jumped down and followed them. Together they danced around the pretend garden, twirling and swirling amongst the cherry blossom petals. Isadora, whispered Joe. Is that Pink Rabbit? I whispered back. Yes. Wow, breathed Joe. He's amazing. We watched as Pink Rabbit didn't peer its head disappeared down into the pretend hole into the string. Alice followed into the everything onto the string began into the change. The tree vanished. The walls and the floor became black and white tracks. And suddenly Pink Rabbit and Alice were falling down into the ceiling of the string. Pink Rabbit didn't look frightened at all. He is using to fly through the air with me. He reached the garden and elegantly danced on into the strings, still glancing onto the pocket watch. The show continued, and we watched the string before train roared again, and the magical forest were a giant caterpillar and the garden all dancing colorful flowers who all dancing across the string with Alice. There was a tea party with a Mad Hatter and the glittering pink stripy cat with a huge grin. And of course, there was a Pink Rabbit. He was dancing onto the string often, twirling and swirling and leaping and bouncing. That was magical, said Joe, when the curtain comes down to show it was time for the interval. It was, I agree. The auditions started to chatter, and people all around us began to standing up to go onto the toilet to go their flashment. Did you see that little pink rabbit? I heard one man say behind him. He was spectacular, wasn't he? Yes, said another man. I can't work out how they made him too small. It was like magic. and has an excellent dancer, said someone else. A star on the shows. The original that he was pink, said the lady nearby. Usually the rabbit is Alice in Wonderland is white. I felt my mouth wide into a huge smile. Pink Rabbit had been spectacular, and I was so proud. Mom and Dad and all my friends began to gather around me then. Isadora, said Dad. Was that really Pink Rabbit on the stage? What he was doing there? Asked Bruno. Yes, Isadora, what has happened? Said Sashi. I tried my best to explain everything before the end of the interval. I was so busy explaining that I didn't even get to eat a little pot of the strawberry ice cream that Mrs. Cherry had handed out to everyone. Well, said all my friends, good for Pink Rabbit, said Dad. I also knew he had a talent, said Mom. I started to round at them all the beamed. The second half of the show was a bit shorter. We watched as the strange formed into the more magical wonderland, Alice and Pink Rabbit, and the other chatterers danced around them, glittering and wheeling in their brightly colored costumes. At the end of the show, all the dancers came onto the stage. They bowed together and the auditions clapped and cheered. Then Alice made a courtesy unto the auditions, clapped and cheered some more. And I noticed one of the dancers pushed Pink Rabbit gently for the front of the stage. He took his own bow and suddenly a whole auditions were on their feet, stamping and whooping and cheering. Mom waved her wand into the bucket of the rose, exploded into the air and fell down around Pink Rabbit. Fantastic! Yelled the auditions. He's magical! Pink Rabbit puffed out his chest, and I could tell he was extremely pleased. He was pinker than ever. Once the thick velvet curtain was lowered, the lights came back into the air. Then everyone stood up to go home. We need to wait for Mrs. Pink Rabbit, I said to Mrs. Cherry. Of course, said Mrs. Cherry. We had to wait quite a long time before Pink Rabbit appeared from the backstage with a limping Tatiana Tutu. I am sorry it took so long, said Tatiana Tutu. Everyone wanted Pink Rabbit's autograph. She smiled down at him. He was fantastic, she said, a star of the show. We are so grateful to him, and also to you, Isadora, to lending him to us. She held out a box. It was wrapped in shiny paper and tied into the ribbon. It is a present for you to say thank you, she explained. You and Pink Rabbit really saved the day. Thank you, I said, blushing. It's quite all right, said Tatiana Tutu. Then she lifted her hand and waved goodbye to everyone. Oh. The train journey home seemed very slow. Pink Rabbit was tired after his day of dancing, and he slept curled up my lap and the whole journey. I went to open my present, but Mom wouldn't let me. She scurried it away into her bag. Save until you get home, she said. It might seem unfair to others. So and I chattered about the show and looked out into the window into the darkening sky. Little flakes had started to fall. They looked like a tiny twirling ballerinas. I hope I can be the ballerina one day, I said drumily. Me too, said Zoe. I looked down at the Pink Rabbit sleeping peacefully on my knee and stroked his ears. It was wonderful to see him on the strange day. I wouldn't change a thing about it, but At the same time, I am a bit disappointed I never got to see Tatiana Tutu's dance. I would have to love to see her dancing. I am sure you will someday, said Zoe rustingly. It was dark by the time we got into the station. We all walked back into the school together, and then my friend's parents started arriving to pick them up. That the last time, one, said Dad, taking the name of his keyboard. Excellent, said Mrs. Cherry. Thank you to mud into the volanting, Mr. and Mrs. Moon. No problem at all, said Dad cheerfully. It was an expression. I have never been on the human school trip before. Nor have I, said Mom, taking off her heavy jacket and handing it back to Mrs. Cherry. It's lovely to see the dancing, and it's almost like fairies. Dad seemed reluctant to take off his heavy jacket. I didn't realize I had to give it back, he said disappointedly. I'm afraid too, said Mrs. Cherry. It's cool propelled. I thought you hated it, said Mom in surprise. Well, it's rather gone on me, admitted Dad. It is very striking rock, don't you think? I think I'll ask one of for my birthday. Mom and Dad and I flew home through the snow, picking up honey blossom on the way. Can I open the present now? I asked, energetic at the school as we got through the front door. Of course, said Mom, handing it to me. I let Pink Rabbit's tear off the wrapping paper, and then we peered into the box. Wow! I cried. Tatiana Tutu's famous star diamond tiara wrinkled up at me from a nest of pink tissue paper. I lifted it out into the carefully and put it on my head. Look, I said to Mom and Dad. Look! Oh my goodness, said Mom. This is beautiful. How kind of Tatiana Tutu, said Dad. It suits you, Isadora. Pink Rabbit continued to rustle onto the box. When he came up and he wiggling his ears in delight and holding a set of the ticket in his paws. Family tickets to Tatiana Tutu's next ballet show, said Mom. You will got to see her dancing after all. Really? I said, hugging a grin spreading off my face. Really, said Dad. I am almost felt like crying because Tatiana Tutu had been so kind. I didn't do very much, I said. All I was knocked on the door to see if she was all right, and then I leaned her Pink Rabbit in for the show. Well, it was still very kind of you, said Mom. Not everyone would be done that. It may have seemed a small thing to you, but to Tatiana Tutu it's huge. You saved the show. It is always important to be kind, said Dad, no matter how big and small. I nodded and Pink Rabbit nodded too. We will always try, I said. Great, said Dad. How about you be kind right now to fetch me some red juice from the fridge then? It's almost time to breakfast in my strip. The end.